I will say more be about Pinax TV so any the extradition case of a year Abu Trica egusua ekoso na yenim se enche ye bia be 2 weeks ago ukopie mu e ogbese district court ya journey case no to 2 weeks time and Abu Trica asa kwako pie mu with the same court me check be say district court na che say enipa abodompem wo honom na nyasem kitwa. You could see say amanfo bebre are so much interested in this Abu Trica ninsema ekoso na o share the presence of the security forces around Abu Trica ne said Abu Trica kasa ne demina ene said the word ne gestures ne ade na to utimu say asem no atonu so ye pa looking at it na just say ko hwe ni mu kwan pa say and then no something good will happen because we share ni mood ni ade odire mu out say man abre wa branka sanka nya asem keto asem no kra ye ntwindu baby now so you could see that Abu Trica asem no ahete na wa bre ye now yen saka videos ni ade of a year time Abu Trica ekopie mu ewo gbese district court honoma na nipa bebre na dofo nom ni ade obehwa ade fo nyina ekwakopie mu ewo ho a na omokohye de besie yenim se mu nyina mpese mu hu ene de kosi ye ewo court emu nsem nyina ewo ha ye de ebebre mu nanso ansa na no ye be ko ni akwakohye de si ye ewo court honom now ene se de make no Abu Trica said that screens no pepe. This was the time Abu Trica ekopie mu eye court no na prisons officers ne ade enkofotim say amanfa twetwetwe mu cameras ne ade a omu nyina echa the ACNC. This was the time omu kopie mu na one ne lawyers ne ade omu directing. You can see Abu Trica with the handcuffs any ade wo ne nsa eso ayede no area court nim. So that is what is happening. And you said Abu Trica kwakopie mu ewo court again. Now amanfo busa say ene court no ni nyina efa extradition ne ho ana say no o call first one into extradition no ye free ho no man say what is the purpose of this whole court case again?
All right, so answer na ncha kese nkoma ahwe for ni for we have been following this particular case for some time now about Abu Trica, and then what happened in court today, clear indications that this case is fully going on. So this was the moment Abu Trica actually could be court. Now one of the things most of you don't know is Abu Trica in the case it stems from an 8 million fraudulent case, and as a romance fraud and a romance scammer. Charges are Ghana bind together with the Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI or Abu Trica. Now initially the whole case was back and forth because beginning at Abu Trica call didn't call court first time didn't call. You could see say not she Max such as on any two accomplices they were looking kind of tamed and sad. Okay. But then as time goes on, second time on making appearance in court quickly the judge ordered say yemfa Abu Trica enko hospital. Why? Because ye purchase Abu Trica na kasa no sebio ewuduani bi ewudi physically medically and also health wise onye really fit like that because on na mo nyina sebio our condition be na was say dey court na clean. And honestly seeing the videos which is coming out today clearly shows Abu Trica was indeed in good form, and then he opting to say okay, I'll come to court, but court am I don't need no smacks. He was free, he was okay. In fact on social media one of the comments are not most of the comments are not air say even in Abu Trica's trial crown and as in the perilous time he's still looking fresh. We're trying to drip now.
But how for say the Air Force as if it's die chin and no.
Of course, yes, you don't court basically also we say the judge looks at everything as a component of a better with dimina how I will back you we need to be match say at the end of the day yenjeli wana say yema bill or not. But then something really happened all this time a brave Abu Trica. There was one person your friend Oliver Barker-Vormawor. Okay, he is a human rights activist, and we know say Oliver Barker-Vormawor or Yobuswa to say fix the country demonstration here they had Okahom. And then all this while he's the person waku di ama Abu Trica or a UK based lawyer, sounds like a Ghanaian based lawyer, a Bano lawyer. He knows very well in it. So beginning at Abu Trica and then two accomplices yes, also Abu Trica Sa Oliver Bakafomo we ya ne law firm could DG nemu ama at the end of the day omutimi yi Abuchika ne yire. And so far Abuchika yire ne ba out we tima enema bibria abua because oba out akwa clear all the social media the videos of of Abuchika on a TikTok ni other page. Remember I said this is what the FBI will be using against him. Now even though Abuchika ne yire no wa clear sa nyema ni nyina no definitely there's an RTI in US, the right to information. They can write to TikTok and Instagram to turn over all the data because the data will be there significantly for a number of time or years before it will be scrapped off Instagram and TikTok's database. So clearly, you know, that helped, but then I don't think so that will help that far. But this same Oliver Bakavomo or core courts. Now core courts, a whole lot of things also did happen. And on the other to just say, bro, core courts, initially, let's just say, omo checking, let's just say, judge, Omukache judge ni say case a states no modi abano state ni any na so because we are learning say all these are the properties and cars wa Abuchika ni demo kra no it is not even registered in his name into no so akwa ade a so all that they were pushing for was bill and I will show the way anyama ne corner obehu say achingo for be but Abuchika one person ye che no about 80% of people were complaining. Even Captain Smart complaining here. So the government, I believe the NDC government is looking at this from a standpoint say, okay, see, and you're teaching for Abuchika arrest can make the youth think so. Oh, NDC for by and exactly. So they are trying to handle the case very clearly and very well. Okay. See, and then most of the charges are the AG. They brought up against Abuchika. And we are learning that most of them did not hold water. Okay. At the end of the day, the council and the lawyers of Abuchika requested for a year. They requested for a year, your friend is a bill. Okay. Bill, no cry, they nearly got the bill. Okay. But then a year, judge. Party said they have to turn the case over to the state judge and at the state. Judge no a year state court and a high court on undecided. It will show me the Attorney General's arguments have been frail, like I said. What we are seeing now is that very soon Abuchika might be granted bail. And take it from me, once Abuchika is granted bail, the case is dead. Okay. Because your money bill is going to lawyer up or beef your any homework and extradition process, even if ultimately he's extradited to the United States of America, trust me, only 1 year back. Why? Because so that is exactly what really went on. I've seen many videos and many things but then this is exactly what really went on today.
Okay, nature say busianfo ene Abuchika kopie mu no akane kakra ye hwe animu a the possibility say obenya bill no bobo because utim say the midi kan ye na aka no amanfo bebre are so much interested in this whole Abuchika ni issue a ekoso enti ye hwe because said the no and then nanke was see money bill but due to 1 or 3 things nature say it was say you took a share another day into which screens this so Oliver or a judge and as a lawyer near wojinemu ama Abuchika no ninsem odebetu just I just left court in the Abuchika matter. The Attorney General, after our filings in the High Court for the case to be struck out, today asked the district court to discharge and release 2 of the 3 arrested into a chamber and say na refu court saying na filings and as enkrata umudikoma Attorney General Yera Dominic Ayeni no was she senkene nipa miensa ye chi o na se nipa mienu e ka Abuchika ho aye chi o mo ye miensa no nkiyi mu mienu na nka baako nanso nsem na ewo honi no say the substitute magistrate says no, she won't do it, then says this cap will pass by me. Adjourns it and says we should wait for the main judge to come back on 3rd February. I swear I've left Ghana because me catchere bruni kra on jindi.
Okay, so what you just read on the screen in terms of law, the head until here is that the council and as the legal team of Abuchika, they've been able to make a solid case. So initially, what we are learning, they say 2 people are not Abuchika hono omudie ne pese yeden ye mo mo kwano mo kofi. They want the judge, the council and I said the defense was actually saying bailium. But from my checks, Abuchika was not part into a baby. But then even if one person had gone home and can be good news, because subsequently the others will have joined, because friend from me and bail, ultimately one has to follow. And I think Abuchika's composure has been something very good. Now there's a video because Abuchika lawyers Ababekasa. And once again, personally, I believe Abuchika will be free, regardless. I believe that the victory will ultimately be his portion in this case. Okay. Because honestly, case in America for the FBI from the Abuchika, it is stupid to me. Why? Because more parties and a whole lot of things will get into all of these things. But I think say young question the video of a year in summer, the lawyers of Abuchika or Mudi Tuja, a more argument after the whole Judge Neka said, Yensan court near back on the 20th of January 2026. Near Babaka, not main judge, yes, or Babaka or Babaka, no, I make you
more or less slowly. We more or less could tell something like this is coming up. We have already filed an application at the High Court to have all the three of them bailed. And we have also filed additional applications to quash everything that is going on, because the illegality cannot be allowed to stand. So on the 20th of January, we'll meet at the High Court. We'll meet High Court complex. No matter what, the liberty of these innocent Ghanaians will be restored. Justice will be restored.
Okay, so that was the lawyer of Abuchika in some of the two just said High Court. Now, if you following us, we told you say Abuchika is really lawyering up, because Kamia Koye said, it would be better for Abuchika to make his case here than the US, and that is exactly what he's doing. Regardless, you also have a video Abuchika no ofi court about. You could see say the demeanor of Abuchika is both sad, he's in a cool mood, and everything is really going on well. Yeah, just a particular video about back ever
For that was a year and they said a court case concerning Abu Trica Ekoye into the judges in a trema on the 20th of January. Or more ebekwa kupie mu bie mintina chese be amanfo bebrane pese hu se ene was Abu Trica granted bail no together with the other two. No, it is a big no. Enya de Abu Trica enya bail na chese he's going back to the cells until 20th January. Wombesa akwa kupie mu ewo High Court. This time around they went to the district court, basic district court, but according to the lawyers, 20th January wo mo ebekwa kupie mu ewo the High Court of Ghana. So that is Abu Trica ebusiafo se say de otimu say bema or man who composure nistis pa said the beya said the naka yen wasem wo court ye hwe wo gestures wo demeanor wo mannerism niema obeye ni nyina ye hwe and I put it into place ema judgment into ono so comporte ne ho at some point said the beya nensem nanye den engine go about him say the lawyers nani abre said they would fight for Abu Trica because omusha the lawlessness any idea ekoso ewonsem nimu no enya de ometimi apene so ama Abu Trica ene mrante a ka ne ho no sebe wo mu freedom no be curtailed by this whole US extradition yom pese wo mu edebo abrante no enti assistance now ne de Abu Trica nasem no yetu ashe daisansi yechirima lawyer ni no ankasa eni ehonom. So amafo bebre ebusa say at this point does it mean say Abu Trica the number of days are all stay ewo can say cells ni muni ade no, is it not too much anka omuma ni be wanka wouldn't it be better na fe case ni into aso?
It is not too much because the prosecutors in this case the Attorney General and the FBI they need more time to link their case. Remember, say Abuchika and the lawyers all that they are saying is simple. Or more parties, they need a year more time. They need Abuchika to be behind bars. They can get more time and ultimately can make their case. And even far from that, they believe Abuchika coming out to he being freed, no, obitima sampa with a lot of evidences maybe or in transaction. Some of the people have to corroborate with the FBI in terms of a year. Findings and corroborate in terms of event corroborate and corroborate whichever way you want to put it, and also know a whole lot of things are he's involved in. So they needed all of these things to make the case. Now the reason why they are in court is simple: to tell the courts and the Ghana buying say mumma ye ho kwan ni emfa eye abuchika enko abuchime mu no face justice in some titia no it court ni ma ho kwan say Kim say e was say and it say Ghana buying anomo ho tumi anomo ho kwan say omode eye abuchika bekwa. I'm very sorry. There's a year fight. This Abuchika should be freed. No, it will be in vain. Ultimately, Abuchika will have to be taken to the US to face justice. But then, in terms of a year, Nyama Air Corson, if Abuchika is granted bail, put name po yachiniko US, I bet because Obitima to Nyama ye in terms of income, Obitima pompe a lot of cash on the ground. A lot of cash on the ground. Obe pompeno. Obitimi make sure say the Nico US crown. Obitima have a legal team representing ye. Something most people did not get. Oshe a year one more idea Marco Dada Joe remains a Kofi Boots now. They arrested them within just 48 hours. So they don't even have enough plan to do things. The one say ya chill, ya arrest still, ya lock your freeze account. All of these things are near my a happening impromptu sana. It really destroys a lot of things. So that is exactly what is really going on. The hope now is for Abuchika definitely to be free. Remember, since same way by and also many people are talking because Ocean and see the air cross between US and Venezuela. US basically has stormed Venezuela, arrested their president, and saying said they are going to run Venezuela and also take the country's oil. Many issue with that because whatever goes on between the US and also Venezuela, no, it doesn't affect me. But the issue here is so simple. Say, it's a US attack Venezuela after the Omopa. Na said you'll be so crewmana or ye be the opa. Because more franco for or you'll be so familiar, more complaining. So that could be one argument or be so bit my the making. In some in same degree. But then for Abuchika, what we can say right now is that to me, based on what I'm seeing, you know, Mitmaka said things are looking good for him. And let's also commend his composure and his steez. Maybe I'm feeling steez, no. Steez are very nice. So I say, it also say something really better will definitely come out of this particular case. Okay, so it was for that is a year Abuchika. Any issues are so at up till now, year chain a year 20th January. Now, yasha the outcome of a year court precedents are ebekoso a year the High Court. Yeshemobo say emunsem de enyadia yede ebekame mo yedini nyina ebeba besomo afe ye konsem fufuro so ani kwakopie mu ewo the NPP amanyoko no akache abusiafo kamia ye say just like a year bon FN saying Hobson Adoye. Just like Hopes in Adoye, Sana Papaya with that screen, so ye Professor Frimpong Boateng, or non so ye be pamono, a free MPP amanu kunimu. A sans a meno case de en crata sembini near me be koso ewo party headquarters level papai ni tiki kan said ye pamu Hopes in Adoye ni omo keka ho fi MPP amanu kunimu no ono nso ne letter enam kwan so ayeba ono nso ye be wona tiko se dum no obusa se eye Professor Frimpong Boateng e de pa no wa ya sebe sabe de MPP amanyoko mu mpanimfo epese wo mo epam no efi amanyoko ni mu no very simple na no ada and we call grant interview channel 1 TV na honom no ko keka nsem bia it's more or less like an exposure our expose ye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and any team and afa so kra no NPP amanyoko no mu mpanimfo as a whole esanse wo chema eye abatwa wo moto year 2023 di wo mo presidential candidate in ade no eye party mpanimfo no omo rege elections no Ede Emma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na nya asem ketwa na sansem wei aye Professor Frimpong Boateng ekokeka ye no na sabre de empanimfo kire mu se papa no de okeka ye no watia NPP amanyoko ni mrante ne dodum wo mo pam no de no afri eye party no emu. Mind you, this is a very big man in the party some time ago crown wo contest presidential primaries ni bi wini na wan wini, so that should tell you who this man is. Was also cry the former
Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Information, the man MPP Amanyukwe. So if they say they are sacking this man, that should tell you say MPP4. Say by the time party no sebe NDC really be MPP4 be opportunity wa governance mu no. Na wo mu eni etetere ni eni papa bia sebe wo mu ni omo ebe run the economy because at this time must start pamo mpanimfo ewo party ni mu, and I mean people that are very eligible and befitting of certain roles there. Then Obiobus said, what is the future of MPP now?
Yeah, so the future is something which is very murky because this is a man, he's not just any person. Remember I said Professor Ayefrim Pomboatin Obekaya, he's one of the few people who was able to perform a successful heart surgeon. I just say one of the Ghana's greatest physicians and also cardiothoracic surgeon. He is the person. And as you can see, you know, these actions, you know, and I said the action MPP4 taking clearly, you know, they are saying that whoever will come for Bawumia, the party will cancel you, and that is exactly what they are doing. Now there's a video of what he said a day same way a buy, but then the video, you know, so re-electing Bawumia as flag bearer will be a train wreck. And this a car train wreck, if a trainer air crash, what he said. But before then, more show a video, you know, of what is causing this man's suspension, which is very sad. No, you watch a video about Baka. We have what MPP leadership is saying.
Any other person will have a better chance.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Any other than Bawumia?
Yes.
Because of his association with them. But they all have association with the previous government. One was an education minister, one was a minister of...
Yeah, but that's the thing. You see, in the first round, they all supported him. He took education minister and the others supported him. And now they've left him. Why? Why have they left him? Those who supported him, why have they left him? If he was that strong, you know, why are they competing with him?
But you ran for president in MPP as well. The fact that you ran doesn't mean you did not support somebody you went against. It was all a question of throwing your hat in the ring, right?
Ghana would have been quite different if I became a president. You know it. Ghana would have been a different country.
You are sure of this?
Oh, sure.
I mean...
Let me tell you what this is something said down. What I expect of a president, you know. What I expect of a president. I expect that a president will have a clear vision, you know, and lead by example. Not corrupt, not greedy for money, wealth, or properties, no family, friends, or concubines government, no square pegs in round holes. You must have the will to make a difference and have sound moral values, be passionate about developing Ghana, resilient and adaptable, or having the courage to do what is right and not what is easy. And by that I mean, not just changing minds, but evolving and forming new opinions as better data become available. And the president also empower institutions and monitor, and above all, sanction bad behavior. And this is lacking.
But the
Abusia for a Professor Frimpong Boateng Ninsema Okokanye ni na chese wono de to him no na ye share the qualities of a president or boboso, somebody that I mean free of corruption, any properties, any idea has a mind of his own na which means a way they no chese niema na ye tetefa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hono enwa ena Professor Frimpong Boateng and so eka ewo ye interview no emu na nsem way and okokanya ene ye de krata tintintintin ya hu screen sisu yi aba to ho e de amanual sabre de said me kan just like Kopsi na doye nko anhwa na ye Professor Frimpong Boateng so edu omochi enti way free the New Patriotic Party headquarters or say for immediate release New Patriotic Party initiates process to expel Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng from the party. Expel we dey ankasa suspend o. Ye kasi experience ye UAD. Ede free amanyoko ni emu. So the New Patriotic Party has taken due notice of comments made by Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng during an interview on Channel 1 TV on Monday, 12 January 2026, in which he described the party as a fake party and further stated that he no longer considers himself a member of the party, of the NPP. Into not just interviewer Professor Frimpong Boateng ekoye no ena na wo kire mu say NPP amanyoko no wo mu ye fake because omi omo rege election no sade ni nyina makes them a fake party into ono de amanyoko bi etisa no ontimi fa ne ho nye den enkodomo omo. In the same interview Professor Frimpong Boateng made additional disparaging remarks about the party and alleged, among other things, that the party's 2023 presidential primaries was rigged in favor of His Excellency Dr. Mahama, the NPP's presidential candidate for the 2024 general election. Into Ochema, sa interview na so Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng koka say aba wo moto no 2023 edi presidential candidate no NPP mpanimfo a wo mo edi abato nanim no wo mo wi abanimu en wo mo de ma Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia in the party unequivocally rejects Professor Frimpong Boateng's unfortunate characterization of the NPP and firmly denies his baseless and substantiated allegations regarding the conduct of the 2023 presidential primaries. The said primary has been widely acknowledged by all candidates who participated, as well as by well-meaning members of the party, as having been conducted in a free, fair, transparent, and credible manner, faithfully reflecting the will of party delegates. Into omuchema the Professor Frimpong Boateng meka yenyi ninano womo omu nyintumu ne enjintumu china esan say de okano no krabia enimu 2023 aba omo etoye no ye candidate ko mu gina yen agitumu agiatumu say aba no ekọ te de wo say ekọ na no kredie ene ekọ so ewa abanimu a yenwie mu amfa ama obia. Or say the New Patriotic Party views the conduct and utterances of Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng as highly reprehensible and inimical to the values, unity, and integrity of the party. Consequently, the party has invoked the relevant provisions of its constitution to commence the necessary processes to expel him from the party strictly in accordance with due process. International in some Professor Frimpong Boateng ekwakika yeni nyina no ade a egu MPP amanyoko no ehufin enti omo nso emra ebo amanyoko ni ho ban no eno no omo nso maye omadwene se omo de beye adwuma na omo ayi papa no e de free amanyoko no emu. At this point, are we always ebetena de bia mayako hu se de bia MPP for esake party faithfuls for telling the truth and answer for coming out? Is it no longer freedom of speech again? And answer saying, because tell me what obi chena adwen say o ono de ohun ne say me person me president and na onipa me bu ni so ye president possesses this one or two qualities and e share Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia rather than Bawumia any other person can go and help the party win, but Bawumia de possesses the qualities I want in somebody as a president. Moreover, enema ba ku bi na memehu say abaye to no na no no kredi ankomu a Nana, don't you think it's time Anka it was investigations into what this man is saying rather than expelling him on all that?
Yeah, meaning about what you are saying is clearly something I was of the view today. You know, MPP in a bid to actually sanitize itself and be in a position they will be accommodating of all views, so they are rather self-destruction. There's something President Donald Trump have been saying before an election so winning against Kamala Harris. A simple two-word: the enemy within. MPP is crashing from within. Now, this a man okay from the 2008 he was in fact about joining MPP na big news. Yeah. The first successful open heart surgery in Ghana, all the good things that came with it. So subsequently, he served in your government. Yeah. Now, the Patriotic Party is saying, say, a party, they are of a party who takes all views, discerning views. So if this man is saying, say, at the end of the day, no be a party no to him, it is rigged. It is for the party and the leadership to come and dispute it. But here we are saying, say, they want to expel him. Any sensible party, let me just go in all like any sensible party will come out with a statement, first of all, distancing itself from the comment. First of all, saying some Professor Khan, you know, they disagree with it. They also lay their facts. And then before you even come out with expulsion, you come out with saying you because a party member, you haul him to the disciplinary committee. See, back in the uni, I was writing exams, and for some reason, my phone me home. Mobile, I'm seeing me phone. I'm setting on my phone. I'm so my phone me use. The phone was off. My saw it. My call gallery. And if you know me very well, me say they want the papa. So I used to take snaps of pictures. Because I'm zooming, so I had certain pictures of a classroom, a year revision, and they said, even though the phone was off, it was in my gallery, you know, they will subject me to a counseling. So they actually cancelled my paper and they hauled me to the disciplinary committee. All I'm trying to say is that they can't prove so you're guilty, even if you are guilty, Krano. It was at the end of the day, we need to let the full law work. What you say, and in terms of law, which the MPP in Brenin for our honor, also who say no, you can't just basically come out and say your friend says someone is guilty. You need to give the person a fair hearing. So you need to give the person a fair hearing. To share a year, one of a year, Maxine's theory, or say equality. As equality is equity. Okay, equality is equity, and our party say equity looks on that as which ought to be done. At the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, are we giving him a fair hearing? And even far from all of these things, the big question me together with other people, ABC, say there are some within the New Patriotic Party who have said worse. And then I brought Yankai. I brought to make us a party leadership for me. Ultimately, do matter. And then I said, some people within the Japan ranks. And then I'm kind. Then Professor Nkwan kind. It's not so dear on Pig Diggy on new podcast on your live YouTube soon. Will be the dink of exposing Kofuntino. We need to prove what? What you are doing? See, the party back because of Baumia. Successfully me push Alanchemantin out, and that's who push Professor Frimpong Boateng out, all because of Baumia. So are you telling me so you criticize Baumia baby with a party? Massa, omushen you now the way I NDC for corner no. If MPP for the man, NDC for more is not breaking the 8 annual agenda, breaking the 3. Almost got 3 things because Sen and Kofon air corner 1 year ni. For the past 1 year, omunya any scandal. Beginning of 2026 near team. Yet yana year na and naka 2 years. Yet hati sa no mako re-election maybe ni. Yet yana 8 years or so. No more for 10 them and MPP mutimi and your NCC mufie ye. Most of them tomba umiamai. Again about umiadeba. One more party ni munyina umbitima to adiamamono. Muyo munyinedi. After Professor Frimpong Boateng, one am being in next in Japan. Montwaso. And this is very sad. And this tells us the leadership of the New Patriotic Party, they are sick from the head. You only hear of them when somebody is speaking against Baumia. My Abronya can send be brave. Abronya at the point in time, they didn't call a disciplinary committee. Osionko committee. When man cash because Musro.
But disrespect your whole committee.
Essential, even a Bromoko meeting, Krana Kuforti Wakra. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. To the extent said Abronya came out to say he didn't even dispute it. MPP. And you see, in Pennyforce behind every iota and behind every rumor, there's truth. In Sama Omoka say, party ni account party first, so no correct. See, men for once and you say. Your friend is saying the party has no affiliation. The party has an affiliation. The party has a core. Oko US are your 2 parties. Your Democrats and your Republicans. Obianim say Republicans for no. Obi fita white a Republican.
Yeah.
And a woman Mexican mix any gay queer for a Democrat. The core base of the party no, and science and it here. So what they do is at the end they try to please their base and they try to add people to their party. Into the core base of MPP can. The core base of the New Patriotic Party can Asante for Achemu for your party no. You can't turn the party overnight and make it your friend is saying. a northern party and an air party and yet possible ubenye biaka ho na wo hwe the past elections ye call ya ye tomba omia tomba ono ani krom kro rusu ye ono ani krom. You see, sad what is really going on, and I'm expecting say people like in Japan will definitely come out and speak against these things because honestly it is very appalling. Yi papa we pa because now MPP, you know, as a knee head.
They are doing too much.
Last time I checked, the person on Bible flag bearer, or said or TV or Bible fee. I think who are now Chris and now who make here or said Abua Oniti. Abua Oniti, I mean a crown, Baumia and an agent that all cancer adian. Koyem campaign say Obeba Baka, or say Abua Oniti. No, I call fat Zacchaeus and Zachariah, be all Bible. A whole lot of funny things. What is the message? So I sad what is really going on in this particular party. Yeah.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate. Say NPP and Penny4 are not trying to right their wrongs properly. Now, omo make party attractive to people to join. Now, so we are still observing what they are going to do to Professor Kwabena Japan. Yeah, the home update and so ebebro. Now the guy that is trending on X right now, Ebonowa. For some reason, and then oko Twitter and I say Xa Ebonowa eka the trending 3 no ehwa enyasem keto and people will be wondering why. Me no ka say yen nyina yenim de see ya ama ene Ebonowa ewo eye aban kokomu a ye hwe ne next eye appearance ewo eye court edem. Now so no ensem ni nyina fa eye ensem yo de betu dwase nsuo ba beto ena flood ena we see ark ena obi be komuni ade or the 25th of December 25th December ye hu hwe ye be wan se bono wakopie mu e wo rapaholic sa akode program a wo ye rapaholic eye bono wakopie mu on na bias obi a wo se nyame ba no ena wo makopie mu e wo rapaholic no na so ye che bono wa no ye hu se akode ba abronten e be kasaye say like what is a bonowest crime enu ntie be de ye be che no entine ye nim say akode etai ebonowa echi but there is a revelation from the camp of Sarkodia. I am quite a friend saying intriguing and surprising. I say ebi mucho say asa baby asem ne kika kono Sarkodia pe say oyi ebonowa Emma because according to information the free sack camp eba ne say Sarkodia didn't even know say na ebonowa eba be piemu ewo rapaholic show no eso. So right now we invited ebonowa to rapaholic. Day pan see ye me bonu wakopie mu e rapaholic stage ni eso video e honoma na che say insem no bano about this whole Ebonow's appearance on the rapaholic stage yenko team ma ba ye beto aso
maybe Sarkodia who brought on Ebonowa or say he found me way.
So why did Sack bring on Ebonowa?
Because he had to bring him for what?
DJ Mesa can
for what? He's official. He's part of the Sarkodia team.
Sarkodia wasn't even aware he was coming.
No, wait. Are you serious?
Yes. He wasn't aware.
Sarkodia wasn't aware that.
So who put him on?
Sometimes we have to surprise Sark with some of the things.
So it's the event organizer, the event management.
Management and
And you thought it wise to put him on?
Oh, I got to know a few minutes before he got on.
If I would speculate, I would say it would be George Kwe who put it on.
I wouldn't be surprised.
George only handled the.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The opening act and then he left. So I don't think it was George.
So at what point did Ebonowa come in?
Almost to finish.
Oh, it wasn't the beginning.
Yeah, it wasn't the beginning. It was almost to finish. I think he came on
in his sack.
Right.
Yes,
his sack. And then
on a sack stage
before. So we have different segments when it comes to the performance. So he came on right after the party.
Abusia de ba ko asebe ama eye Ebonowa ne relation with Sarkodia on the rapaholic no abe a conversation amanfo kan wasem say binu mu chese Sarkodia de amanfo mu ye 419 nko ano de ne ho ekobo mu because ye wa ha na Dr. UN ebeka say oye awards ene no nso ye kwatam feeding bottle edema Sakode, which I question one at say, and Tronkwa or be lie. Nitama for James the Sakode, dear, say, any pa, Sabi, and tro, any na down kwano or involving in with because a bono ye chin a pen amount for status or more dragesak. Says Sakode, wo na kofa a unim se abrante, wa cause and panic or dadan for or then say a whole lot of issues and now command no echo for. A stage, a Sunday make your appearance as a celebrity out of the blues. But then today, DJ Mensa happens to be a very close person in the circles of Sarkodie and in a production. No, and I will making the shocking revelation says Sarkodie knew absolutely nothing about Ebonowa coming on stage. But the question is, whether Sarkodie knew nothing or not. Like now, we share the embracement in Enija. Sarkodie did receive a Ebonowa, and to the extent say a dane cry yet she Ebonowa no or some bet tweety a fan hono. Not to say like it looked like he knew something about Ebonowa coming, and out of the blues, the team members and so say they basically don't know, and as a Sarkodie doesn't know how come Ebonowa appeared on stage. Is this thing not becoming something? Because recently, akola kitu efe interest she ko stage so ehun semba ya na sister Fia Beka say onim kwanya akra de fa so copy mu stage. So is it that the organizers of the event, any Beka said the artists no, they don't communicate and answer them?
So first of all, I'm really disappointed in Sarkodie. There's a saying, say, stand for nothing, stand for something or fall for anything. First of all, Sarkodie did not post anywhere after Ebonowa. I've done my checks. If you have it, you can send it to me. I checked on his Twitter, on his Facebook. He did not write anything. It was speculative, say, the team members, no, essay or say. But even the portals on reporting, they were not able to do any quotation or citation. 2, Sarkodie now is trying to detach himself from the problem. First of all, let us look at the case. There's nothing wrong if you associate yourself with Ebonowa. Okay. Now, Ebonowa Kasan, what is his crime? He has done nothing wrong. From the beginning, on one name what he was doing was satirical. So the extent said those people now Omo Kase Ebonowa Kase boats ni no woma boats ni omo they came out to say boats na Ebonowa can enya no cre Ebonowa came on stream several times, say he has not begged anyone for money. The guy even came out to say enya by force obabe funi boat or not. These are clearly disclaimers. And yes, I will show disclaimer, penny disclaimer, and you can say certain things to tell people say they may is for maybe satirical purposes and as comedic purposes. Far from that, Marco now, utie a year prosecutors charge on model a year Ebonowa mo party say Ebonowa your year no cause fear and panic. What is the fear and panic in this? You see, these were the same NDC people who were crying in opposition. Captain Swan they can hear ni akwachino. We be can hear ni akwachino. Ma ba mo so mo yes ah. Ma kwachi TikToker. TikTokers in kwan achi omo. MPP did more, but then I don't recall the last time an MPP for kwachi TikTokers. But Tikrum has said and yachi TikTokers achi since Mahama buy from Sir Obama to the fancy comedy. Which kind of nonsense is this? I then Ghana no is it for NDC? Now the cybercrime unit will lead a team member and our team members akochi Ebonowa for what reason? Adanya or argument in court is or ka say in subeto nyankopon be nyankopon amba. Debut ko TikTok na ko hwe TikTok no go and check Uni has said na South Africa pastor be a castle rapture BC. I know say every jurisdiction be on the law. Then I pastor even CNN and the last cry report say it didn't see a rapture number. Into obusu aka say nyankopon be na nyankopon ba. What if nyankopon ya chance so be ba na wamba? No own so the argument I will make you a court ni say Ebonowa cause fear, which fear and panic did he create? And I will also make it argument say because of society way one of the rates say because of Ebonowa because only a year black rasta ye soon or say Ebonowa ye into be feel Liberia which is not true. It tells it's a cyber security unit no almost TikTok or more trends. The video I leading here no the guy was there or Tiwon or Tini Rukuta back. Is the lady's word against a person on Kasaye? Say me phone say na me try video me ka say mo hwe lady o tie ni boy eja no e bia na wusu na me ka say ni boy eja no ni boy ni ja no on na date 10 years. It's my word. If you soon a wusu no enya sa bibia si e bi kwa na bibi na to weni ase. So because someone has done a video saying so be from Liberia ba, have you gone to do your check if the person actually came from Liberia? And as our videos ni ehun say nkofo fi border air baba be fro eye your friend is saying AI. I say as a got a be AI. You see, omo my cyber security na ye weak. Weak. Akwachi ebono wa de sa nema we nyina tale no. Now, fast track who say akode who catch say you never knew ebono. Really? No problem. 3 or 4 days to Rapaholic or posted a video on the social media platform, which I think now he's deleted it. Because Sako de Pasemi Strasem. Video posted and say, na ebono wa kase, obeba na opa member, and opa bear. And then do what? You see, this reference is Sako de posted on official Facebook handle.
Okay.
So are you telling me so onimana? And one and I'm for purchasing to go social number focus. Oh, ebono wa be PM 25 apaholic ni ada ebe fa because of senior kupon beba.
Yeah.
What you say? Now fast track ya che guy na who make any official statement. Also o PR and our team member got that radio so or kasa esan say yen person ebe say okay ye be drag sa akode say oye conspirator any ade adintin o detach sa akode so we planned it a surprise and sa akode knew about it. Munja ijimie na mo tidi kroma amoye no. And be bold. Ebono West crime is nothing. Meaning they take Ghana for slow court, sir. Did you? One time I sued someone. Yeah, the rich man and if I never born one dija. And I'm saying, woman we power correct. Open one dija with you. Big woman no. I did not cocoa. I was like, can't see a dia cocoa yen cast me kunipa. As you sit in here, take quarter near Shiva, there's nothing wrong. And I saw Ghana for Eja Ebono Wabako. This is high time. I think Sammy Flesh wrote something and pick up Shatawali. Sammy Flesh, the prior of Shatawali, Etro say, Ebono Wadieno, it is funny until it happens to you and me. A powerful statement. Senanko forces Yachi Ebono, it is funny. Until you are arrested for posting something not on your social media but on your WhatsApp status in the names that cause you fear and panic. And let this warning go to NDC for power is transient. The demography and the dynamics of politics have changed so much in Ghana. Ebe obiaso NDC befa 2028. 2028 etiana ba omiafa. Edi na yan kan fa Mahama. Have you forgotten?
Yeah.
Edumredu kra na after 2016 election, utike mu na o ye NDC ni kra na sebio ye kasa beso be kasa because Mahama was the #1 hated person in Ghana to the extent that na o kase. I think 1st January so ebra na on eye ni area for ne kasa no. Maybe ana estate for kasa. O kase ebra na opedan kra no. Na onya landlord nu say Mahama approximately fie ni rent bill. You see how hated he was. It's very careful. If a hated man has become the president, Baumia will definitely come back. Minyanyame be Baumia said then yes, and before said Baumia no mde beba. Ultimately Ghana for will take Baumia. Yeah. Munya careful. Nemre dane. So sad say all of these things is really going. And even far from that, the question of these incessant prophecies, which is leading us to our next update. Yeah. Dampari was stopping this, and he Dampari fee hono. These same IGPs and then police in Penifua. Na IGP Shembra say prophecies yenja no. You get them saluting as often. It doesn't make sense. And as you break it chains to see a bit of my prophecy.
Yeah. They say yenka imofia bi emeka Ghana.
To the extent so bit me kra, you see a prophecy na spilia maniko FIFA ne betting. Say the tenor of Real Madrid Barcelona is over. You see, I saw some of these things that happen. 31st the next time.
Very, very.
Yeah, can't you pay? Movie se munya dampare.
And contradictions.
Movie se munya dampare. So sad. So I think that will take us to the next update on this particular issue.
Yes, and the next update now Mafebe and I call for the arrest of meka say also for Nigel Gazy ebusia for where the prophecy be abetuja na amanfo chire mu ase sa prophecy na mbe mu a e wo say yetimi che no because o chire say adenta pantan dan ye bedwire gu oni enim allegedly me de say ka say bibi dwiri a I mean the only thing that can cause this kind of distractions of houses and say bia earthquake bi besi ana say tremor bi ana say bibi sa besi tornado bi ni nyamanyema bi nti say o ka say wo hu say edan bi dwiri a eno so anya fear panic ni bi ana video ni wo ho na chese na ni abre pa wo hye nkomanya nkomhye ketwa e wo na sorry them this time around when you see mafia wo bo Ghana e kire se adenta pantan ebusia yenko na yenko hye video
and I'm seeing a lot of in the realm of supernatural adenta area adenta area I'm seeing a lot of I don't know whatever is going to happen but I see a lot of houses break go say adenta area so Adenta Pantai area. I saw that so many houses were collapsing over there. I will pray. Number five. And let the prayer was also. My prayer was also. So, Mama, the one coming with.
Ebusia enkomhye no ene ekotie ye efri eye Prophet Nigel Gazy eho twemu se adenta pantan honom no ohun se edan a edwidwiri egu fam ne nyasem ketwa ti se ye kohwe video midi kankan edan edwiri de se na earthquake na asi anabia mfram aboni bi na abo anase bia eye tornado bi tremor bi ni ade ene me nte se pa Nigel Gazy de nte se amanfo wo adenta ene pantan me sure se wo family member bi wo no otia ne ye mehyehe no say bia ne dan yi ba bedwiri ama na bewu na sesen I mean this is becoming too much. Say the na ka no they say the prophecies no wo mo de my back to back amafo hu ne say this is the same thing na ebono wa ye den ekokan bia ono nso mfa ne so nyame yi kire no ena kire getting to 25th honum no be ka say oni nyame akasa nyame se wa my more time enti nyame se wa my more time I mean what is the call for his arrest again? Enti anye se sa na tede ne se yenchichi asofo a ehye nkom nyina wo krom ha na. That's the question people ask.
That's a very big question. But I mean, no, say no. You some breaking news be in regards with a Abu Trica case. So we'll give you this particular breaking news, and also the lawyers. So we've gotten their full statement. So these are breaking news. Are things that we need to actually look at all of we need to actually look at all of these things. Now, we enter schools, so because we've been talking about the whole issue of Abu Trica, and we are now learning say Ghana they filed to stop the case of the second and the third accused person. Which means in some about Abu Trica case, no, say argument and say the state has no case, no. We into screen, so if you can read it for us.
Okay, inti we free joy prime says state files to discontinue case against second and third accused persons in Abu Trica's trial. And Tinache say nipa mienu ano moka Abu Trica ehono sabre de o mine nankasa ena esijina yese womu epese womu sisa ehono ekwan na mante mienu na eka hono sebe womu timi efa womu ho eko ana meboa because assistance now ne dey I said there is no valid proven evidence bia ye betimi dia pushes a case no say dey na Oliver eka no say asem ni kodru attorney general ho na attorney general ka say nkenne yenjai nipa mienu no monko na sa nipa mienu no possibility say na nke be the second and the third accused no very high now so no according to Oliver Vomona they said they no can say magistrate na no ho ne say there be da ono wompene enyo no na be ba be masa sentence and assessor verdict into obetwen ama jaja woti dwom ayeden aba ba se say ni etese state no echemu senya de omo betoa asem no so efa the second and the third na say they will get their freedom to go and continue with their life. Abu Trica na ono obekoso our police custody.
That is what we are learning. Now, young the second update no so or say MPP I'll say MPP in hands of Luthers, says founder Dr. Nyaho Tamaklu, there's party to sack him too if they expel Frimpong Boate. To a party say, and then most of the sack Frimpong Boate. I didn't want sack or no Nyaho Tamaklu as a founding father. Again, I want can't about Miamu. And yet Dr. Nyaho Tamaklu and the car first about Mia can take decisions on his own. But we'll come back to this particular issue. Now, moving on again to the issue of Abu Trica. Now, as you can see, this is a statement Joy Prime about the state files to discontinue the case against the second and third accused persons in Abu Trica trial. So basically, in Samana lawyer Oliver Bakafomo Eka say case now the state is persecuting and pushing against Abu Trica and Kamia some more evidence is what the state is doing now is that you be focus energy on all of these three make it seem say weak. We don't know what we are doing. What we have to do now is to narrow the scope. Until you narrow the scope, let us say you make sure so okay, you be focus our attention on the big fish. The big fish here is Abu Trica. But then the lawyers of Abu Trica, so Ababe Kasa, initially we gave a brief one about them. But what we are going to watch an extensive video, more parties say. In fact, on more courts, three things are clear. Number one, the case against Abu Trica is vague. Two, the state have also failed to make their case. And three, Abu Trica's bail should be now simple because in some koswa a state so they are unable to make their case. Now you could see the lawyer of Abu Trica in Sema or Tuja. When we come back, we will dissect more into this particular issue because a victory is coming for Abu Trica.
The court ordered that the state should have 5 weeks. If they have any information or any evidence, they should bring it before the court to justify why it will be. The court will proceed against A2 and A3. The states, in 3 weeks, have realized that they can't find anything against them. So why should their liberty be curtailed? This should not happen to anybody. Even when the person clearly is seen committing a crime, it shouldn't happen to the person. Let alone a person that there's no warrant, there's no order, there's no evidence against, to be held in custody. The condescending description, the disrespectful description that law gives to us, all of us, and not just us, including our president, our former president, our chief paramount, they call us what? Subjects and possessions of His Majesty. Which of us is a subject of His Majesty? Which of us is a possession? Are we in slavery? Are we under colonization?
No.
How can such a law be used?
You cannot.
If it is not applicable in US, why is it being applied here?
No. It's unfair.
And you see, the state shouldn't try to be mischievous with us.
Yes.
They are trying to create the impression as if there's a reciprocal thing going on with the former finance minister. The former finance minister is not being held on any extradition issue. Whatever is happening to him there has nothing to do with extradition, because the Americans themselves know that law does not apply in their country, and they cannot use an unapplicable law to extradite the former finance minister. So why will it be used against our national? The states, for its own reason and evolution, says that A2 and A3, they do not desire to continue with them, and therefore they should be discharged. That is what the state is saying. However, the judge who was assigned to sit on the matter today says that no, she's not going to discharge them, but defer that to the substantive judge. This is most unfortunate. Permit me to say this. The very law that the state is relying on to proceed against A1 is what they call a treaty. There is nothing like a unilateral treaty in this world. All treaties are either bilateral or multilateral. That law, as we speak today, does not apply in the United States of America, and therefore it cannot apply in Ghana. The United States of America has moved on from that law, and that law wasn't even between Ghana and the US. It was between the UK and the US. So if the two of them decide not to use that law again, why is it being used against our nationals? We have already filed an application at the High Court to have all the three of them bailed, and we have also filed additional applications to quash everything that is going on because the illegality cannot be allowed to stand. So on the 20th of January, we'll meet at the High Court. We'll meet High Court complex. No matter what, the liberty of these innocent Ghanaians will be restored.
Abusia, that is the lawyer of Eeii Abu Trica in our church and Simu say Judge Nia wati asem no so no and I say ene watch asem no tintanya one per se will be jai Eeii the second accused and the third accused and ma womo ako. But the question is ye jai second any third accuser adentina the first accuser and I'm no so my second and third no or no enka ho bi. And is it because asem ne ejina or no suntino and I am pesi yebejai or no and I say is it because the two na ye che or moka Abu Trica hono they are innocent of the crime.
Okay, so this case in America no a case we are ocean here it clearly tells you said there are a lot of things was say about this. And then honestly me seeing says see no in some omode eba mo party said the state want to discontinue the case, which means evidence but one of the things I'm also sensing is that the government in power who said this is actually not looking good for them. See, NDC will not trade anything that will make them lose home support.
Okay. Because
if there's anything you've seen, you who's a youth no between the ages of 22 to 35, they carry the country. Okay, say Emra Eeii eba yi. Look at Ghana for a kasa ye. Do you know say the 2024 elections no? NDC really didn't do any campaign. What did you even see NDC flyer? They just sat down. Omunya opportunity biya Ghana for monshare bibi betting tax, bibi Eeii, bibi no. Ye betting tax no because Ghana for boys is trapet pa. Sisi a bet no di 400 C's and I trap in di 400 me to 40 Ghana. Ye skip obi de ne dadwen no. Ye can GDP any a year IMF go and fan home don't tax my bet that be all. Inti NDC are buying through His Excellency John Dramani but we said no. Baby adene kono Abu Trica case no. Yen no fiasem yen tin fie.
Okay. Okay.
Yendi ni fear because me track him who said Captain Smart spoke against it. Or him who ye jen any angel. This in fact a lot of people spoke against it. Say a groben ye timmy. To the extent say narcotics control board more head. Etimi ejina Abu Trica so catch say tell me what to do. A Brian name say per the law no uchi obia. You tell the person about the Miranda rights. Even if the person knows what does not know. Say, oh, you have a right to remain silent. Now we'll be saying nipa ne catch us. I don't want to speak now unless my lawyers is here. What's that catching nipa and say, even if your lawyers is here, I have every right to ask you in question. No problem, now be saying, what do I do? I'm catch us a man main kasa unless my lawyer is here. Oh dear, try because master young kwana wish you alone. That is why the last time I said Scar, try to educate yourself a little bit, and that's exactly what we are seeing. So, case need there, a very foolish case, a very fiasem, enkusi bibia, and I also know, yes, all your phones and wash your dear. Boys are multi kuruma more yamuniamano. Bible no crack can say the unsinify yeno, mema on sabinkum ehu. And then penny forces the dada a yes in the precon. Munja is kwasi affronting no. In some way by me flew be na mne kasa and nipa catch him sinana. There are people here a muska. Esi Abu Trica. Omo ye san kwasi ye bia na omo ye deals ye bia. Obi so asa catch him say e bra na one issue no ba obi kan say nkofo okrom ha sa gold board no ebi mu ye de na one e men's ebi mu ye de sin sa. But omo gusu ye why because all maybe be a government will see him as a what? As a political threat. So, munye careful. Ya to cyber trap and ye blow ska ehunya. Unya nanka because I believe say Abu Trica shane ni dem. and I said you all drain one. Nka we nyina ye the AC. But obi so be explain say omo front na be omo be nya no more deals. Go frontier obi nya control. Weka so yimame ni ade. That is what someone said on social media. But then to me, we are not endorsing this. But then I was say obi aye very careful. Yeah.
Okay, but then would share some comments about social media. The HM say the lawyer's defense is lame. Abu Trica and Sheni and the lawyer and the Nasem Numum are very serious.
No, lawyer and man Nasem ni serious. The lawyers are just on course. Much Abu Trica, no problem. Improve ni saying. Most of your fraud. Mo fa the better say my fraud. Maybe I made me one example. I was there last time and my bank friend me say 100K or so be able to my account me need to know me freeze my account. Now me say okay, I'll come there. One of my friend saying you said you were coming, crab, but even if you're in the car coming, crab, you are closing your account and taking your money. And I'm catching a guy and say, me, you'll be a one school. I told him one thing, say, yo, you freeze the account. I'll milk money from your bank. Miss you milk this car if you bank. Hey, me I'm on touch it. No make my just give him chain. Make sure some journey. Which law and rights do you have to freeze my account, take my money? How about that? Me do bank or pay. So nana, you solve the issue. Open cross, you can have accounts. I'm saying, when you be man, also it was a misrepresentation. A bare misrepresentation. So, come me kon ma boa me home. 100,000 amo enye sika o. Be 100,000 amo say o account. You bet you be scan if e legit. O me, and I'm still banking with the bank. Why? Because I know and I've read. It's in the bank ne catch me say see my fraud and I say scanner ba beto my account mu no because he can eso esin kaninti no and omu sisi no problem we sisi me before anything me can sue me sue wa ma catch us for evidence o see my fraud out and into the sisi my account no fabra wa fan ba na me sum dey check us court scan we new eye omu any drinks any ekoton ye ekoya activation yenya sa ska we nyina sa 100,000 ne kra ba ye no work ska wom stage ska wom driver ska wom ne breaking it down ne who is the fraud ye we are ne milk the bank for compensation sa na TikTok e dey Malcolm ojibe 3 or 4 million Ghana si odi free o we no niki di money kwa mi je ko bo new enyuma o dey try ho video so the state has no evidence. Fraud no Abu Trica ye fraud no where were you? Okay, for evidence ne bra. So what man say? So that is it. Yeah.
Okay. Abusianfo na chese Abu Trica issue ne de per the analysis na edema ye no na it's all evidence say e be ding say Abu Trica ye betimi extradicting say the year na ye movie consent for so na ye call a year rakeno for riata ne nsema e koso nyina nim say or ICE for insem mature immigration and customs enforcement for US and wakwa womo ensa now ebetoja said the Ghana embassy Washington wo madwen say womo epesenka womo offer a year assistant to him and a year rakeno for riata e decline ye na nsem ne ba ye no aye hu amafo chom say ken e decline sans onim say Ghana for boana eventually no oba be piemu e wo Ghana no nso de oda wanted a ye hwehwe ne Ghana ambassador to a year mature USA the very fine man a year Mr. Smith wabekasa acheche mu kwan omo fa so kra omo te say yache eye kenoforiata and afi omo kopie mu honom the conversations e course so a latter part no so ensemo a ken e kika kire mu nyina no waba be revealing nyina that show say ken tire mu pa wo kita wo de te US honom eventually yetimi di na same way wia enya dem se Ghana ha kra de obepese obesi ha ye beje bre ebusuafo na ye betie ensemo a eye papa ne de tuja but then osha said the Ochemu said Kenufuriata said he wanted nothing to do with them. On person obe hu omunim, on person obe tie hwe no. As a Ken, papa no why na dwen say Ghana ha all ma ha biemu.
Yeah, so personally I think say a smart move because your friend is saying say obom me say obom asindua na say obom me so boa you can't be a judge in my matter. The accused and the person making the accusation cannot be a judge in the matter. Meaning that some what you say. Me boss say why am I there? Oba so ni biti asem na me so me was saying no say o chia me. And it doesn't make sense. So a smart move. O dey mini US immigration for the yen solve the issue. To the idea me hiam. So yen share video no of insema aye Ambassador Victor Smith edit to je baba kebe to aso.
Yemo ewo Washington DC ne Ghana aye ambassador to the United States aye His Excellency Victor Smith enko twetwe enko opanyin Victor Smith His Excellency what yen kan yamo akwa ba every Washington DC America memo de ba TVS YZ ne Power FM so ewie.
Yeah, mo gawe yes saying.
Eja obade na dumo Ghana boko meni Kofi Abusu panyin ne me production team na wa. Friend ya feel
and the credible, Miss Massimo. If you want to be a do American, I do so again.
Exactly. Fantastic. Well, statement if we were so by as ambassador to the United States of America, Edema Ghana, or representing Hono Nansan and Awa San Shasi, as you could pay more a year eyes for Asuyo. If I can offer that answer, why Ghana ambassador to the United States. Ukopie mo no dian ene koso ena nkita wo ban ena sesi aye kasei wa ye Ghana na msifo ewo hoyi ekoso ewo kenu for your ansem no
yo mugabe me da say the chair o tie for so ewie the ban say minya ntie say ice for akofa opinion na many Accra Attorney General so edi won kita won enya confirm say that is the case. And me man de to hano e man say to me say Ghana ni bia no mbako ahunye mu no na problem bi no with the law no our host country no. As say you two one among na correct say among point at the found na ne do bi na this for you know you make sure say bibia ekoyi omo enti ne fa ho de so enti ye decide say bitu sa na mo no ama former finance minister Ken Oforiatta enti ye need ice for no kasa e na mo say e kwanda ho omo man sa akwanya ne akwa ko no but just before ye be set off akodo and ice for no samba bi o say papa no say on pese obi abesra no on pese ohu embassy for no enti at that point no mo say almost be teni obi that's only a question on person obia and they say I respect that you know right no as well nti so also person who and I just say and yen train sign until such time say on rakasa you know so but initially he had said say he won't see us without his lawyers but subsequently no I say on person who yen cry.
Well,
so I had to issue that statement just to be on the same page with everybody.
Very well. So, Cecilia, no, Kasei, Honorable Ken Oforiatta, what I saw a year as a phone sema and I said, we're releasing.
No. Or I suppose them. I suppose when they took a decision, they knew what they were doing. You know, time was up. You didn't have a right to be in this country. And that much they knew send this and a came. So they took him on the basis of that.
Say yakase will be visa ya revoke ambassador. Yakase will be visa ya revoke ube to me educate ye kakra. Wako ye Ghana MC for or America no. Ye revoke visa no ewo eye an America ho. For omo issue visa no man no. Omo ne revoke eye visa no.
You bet me issue visa ama o Ghana. Immigration officer bet me a revoke visa, and you must have the grounds for doing it. If you think that you even lied in Accra to get your visa, you bet me revoke. Ube committee problem be waha, you bet me revoke. That means I said you came, so you no longer have visa to be in this country, and you have to be removed.
It is a CIA Casino. Ken Oforiatta status. Ewo USA no, it has been curtailed. Sene Bruni Bekano.
Well, only visa to be in this country. Yenti ase nja say o tu anamombi I extended the stay with her. Now only lawyer for any immigration for the age money. But at the time ICE well, before they move in, they are certain they will need right to be in this country. Then they come into your house and take you.
You can offer to everyone or Pequeno on the streets of America.
He was taken from his home.
On one if you
in America. On one if you now, if you follow the news, I also received here documents from the Ghana government.
Okay.
To be submitted to the Department of Justice for extradition of Ken Ofori-Atta, the ex-finance minister of Ghana.
No, honorable, we're breaking news now. What's the one file documents be? America for now, so yeah.
Documents because the extradition documents about me. And my job was to submit it to the Department of Justice.
As ambassador representing Ghana in the United States.
Correct.
Fantastic. So you've done that already.
The documents now come out. I've done that already. That was before he was picked up.
Fantastic job.
The document came here a day before Christmas.
Okay. That was on the 24th, right?
Yes. But we submitted it on the 29th because it will be a vacation.
Okay.
We submitted the document. These are official lines. Extradition
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Legal documents. We submitted. Our job was to submit it to the Department of Justice. You heard Ken Ofori-Atta in Ghana to face certain charges. So that is what we are. And then,
Ti baby a yedru no. Dia wasa wo ye Ghana as ambassador to the United States. Why you wadwuma wie? Ana akabi.
My bedwuma wie. Cause the same address say or chance say opeso hu I will go.
So for how long?
But
the lawyers for two anamono. How long is it going to take for Ken say Yadenebeba or my Ghana Monowabi face the law?
I'm not able to say exactly how long. What I can tell you, and it's on the 20th of this month, he will be brought before an immigration judge on a charge of staying here illegally.
Wow.
What the outcome of that court hearing, or the ruling by the immigration judge, will determine the next steps.
So the next stage is Obeko Court on the 20th of January, 2026.
Correct.
So the outcome of that court will be determined. Say Yadeneba Ghana and I say Bibi Ohwa Ebihu.
Exactly.
But as it stands now, no, the omujina say Olivo America as illegal immigrant. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he doesn't have a visa to remain here. That is why they have him in their custody.
Well, DNC NTR you revoke the visa.
Well, I must be frank with you. That revocation of the visa, I heard it from the Attorney General, Ghana's Attorney General.
Okay.
Now, the Ghana's Attorney General has been working with the FBI on this one.
Okay.
And for him, he wanted the ex-minister to be brought to Ghana. So, any America for any Yankita who be I said, they are assisting us and we are assisting them in resolving some issues that confront their countries. Like us, there are people in our country who have committed crimes against America, and there are people in their country who have committed crimes against Ghana.
Okay.
And so how best are resolve our problems,
diplomatically,
or they'll bring the people to justice.
Diplomatically,
justice
for the between the two countries.
Yes, there's the diplomacy.
Yeah.
Per the law, they want to work with the law.
Good.
Mutually, work to make things happen so that we have a happy resolution of legal issues.
At this stage, you bet me about Attorney General and any team about so.
Very much so. Very much so. I think they've worked very hard in that respect. I mean, and I looked at the document, it had all the ingredients of a proper extradition.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is official and that's due process. Gone through the due process. Oh. Now, the Emiyani said, former minister, no, Aman Kofue, reducing to a level of like a criminal, let's say. Because we be at least why Minister for Finance for Ghana, or Ghana from Penny Ponibi. This case is seen as a high-profile case here. Meanwhile, he's being kept in a dormitory-like cell with other inmates.
Baby, or Danny, it is a student, a dormitory, beside student mattress, so no order.
Well, I've seen bunk beds there. So my question, Penny, Pennsylvania. Last time before Christmas, I went to Bakubi War, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area.
But baby,
the bathroom or shower had a toilet. I mean, it's a common area. I don't know.
Come to empire someone with the NB.
Some a bit harsh.
There be walk order. Walk order. Okay, I
was the minister for Eastern Region. Minister for Eastern Region. I just said there. It's come from the region.
Oh, it's a one quadasso.
Me say, me call Eastern Region, me call pieces up of your master to them.
Me just a one quadasso. Now we have in the panel on the Casarana, His Excellency.
I would offer that so. Because we are ex-convict.
His Excellency, I'm saying, what you call me? You want to be this about who may be a free bar. I come,
the long and short is I really hope Ghanaians, those in public office and public office holders, current and previous, yeah. You can run, but you cannot hide.
Exactly.
Don't do anything that you shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
When you have public office.
Fantastic.
Whether you are a politician, you are a civil servant, public purse has to be protected.
Fantastic.
Do anything untoward, let's say, that year they will find you.
Exactly.
And the law in any country, can be worked on to bring you to justice.
The kind of Ghana.
Ken Bar, for all you know, MPP funny be so because not the person so. And in the process, they might incriminate others. You never know.
You never go alone.
Well, a prayer or bread, yeah, I even papa.
For a year, His Excellency Victor Smith, a year the ambassador of Ghana to the USA, and you could think Chichumo de my if I can for and same home. Said I can for it decided say and yadia obe pese obe a year the people and answer the officials from the embassy or do say no my make arrangement anka or more kwako hunu initially no ufuriata eka say obe receive your mom when the lawyers are available and eyes for no elbow more than single more reach out to Furiata's lawyers to be present but I'm check and no eyes for income or more say they don't Sebe want to Furiata doesn't want to see them any longer but enche asemno ebekwa kopiemu ewo court na court edi asemno between Furiata and eye eyes for no ebusia yes sorry Furiata nsem we so na ye call Nelson Mandela Nelson Mandela na wa unim the echo but Nelson Mandela ye chirima na chese we Nelson Mandela Jr. watu anananom ewonsie do arehosem nti abrante Nelson Mandela Jr. in that screen so I'm sure people will be wondering are they the Nelson Mandela yenim ne ba na setting a lot of questions like that will be asked and so abrante America ne ho asemi owu ye ewo Belgium arehosem we esi nada ena ensem we ebeto e mountain so na me no ka say obi be say who is he apparently oye Ghanaian actor moi anase yen ye share folk boys no abrante we na edinya ekura no toxic wo folk boys movie no emu na wagidin ye pa with ne acting ne ne mannerism ne comic act ne ade woman nyina no na ayare hosenni watu anananu mo said now there is a video of him brana act a folk boys movie no me sure said this will remind you of who he really is. Here's your video remember
why let's go by the are you okay no I want you let's go here this one is all the food let's go run away from your shadow now let's go baby let's go baby let's go let's go yeah let's go baby are you okay
That beats me.
Yeah. Oh, you guys for dance now. It's a good news something. It's a good news something. Oh, you know go dance.
I will say that is a year Nelson Mandela Jr. Yinim no ever folk boys movie nimu as toxic. Na hosem I mean the sad news of his demise no onwana down for brebo pa and no this and same way ebeto mountain so into screens so at the laughing or no any breaking news of the demise of his friend and sema wo troye no na area who ye pa very heartbreaking. I say, bro, you have forced me to question everything. I'm scared, very scared, because I hardly do this, but you have made me drop tears today. Sometimes I don't understand why life is this heavy, why we struggle so hard while holding on to dreams that can just be taken away anytime. Internet so chema say dear when who say we are sending a more remakasa obi besie jollof yase jollof ede se nye ofie ene ye no ana ye no ofie na abun se eda na se nye de tuti mu se we ahete ne papa also this afternoon you got me going back to 2015 when we were just dreamers with no clear path. You were the one who said you were ready, that I should train you, that we should start this movie dream together. We became strong, then life happened and pulled us in different directions, and we chased other dreams until we connected back. Internet is so chema. Womo ebeshe movie ase 2015 because Nelson Mandela Jr. Was sharing movie ase folk boys ne 2015 honum baby. No chemsi 2015 ye onwa Nelson Mandela ya ena erase in the dreams in the hopes high say ombetimi ahye bibia say ede ama omo ehu na omo hye ase na so edru baby no abrabo ede nipa ekofufa baby bebre emom ntemu eteteye na so musan eka omo ho ebo mu bi mo say just last year You asked why I had gone quiet in film, and when I told you I was building something and would go all out this year, you said I'll be back in Ghana soon. No forget to fix me, oh. You know, saying I may start this thing. That filled my heart with so much hope because we had other plans aside film with another brother. It's not just say Uchima na nuya no mudi nkomo na chese Nelson Mandela Jr. Edibetu just say waye krado se enche obeba bepie mu e wo Ghana entino nhihye bia na nka wono the laughing ye no omomodin se ode ne ebehye baby. Also today, while my team and I were planning the year ahead, your news came that you were gone. I'm shaken, I'm lost and empty. I'm still finding it hard to believe this. Like, I don't even know what we are fighting for anymore in this life. But I swear on my life that every film that comes from Deland Films, while I'm alive, will carry your name and your image because you are the genesis of this dream. Wherever you are, may Allah grant you perfect rest. You will never fade. Nelson Mandela Jr. And na chese uchema ehu abono areho ahye ne so chese ne nsekure him wenim de wonye enti awiase pa ye ba ye be ye den ye be wiase beje den esanse ohwe se de abrantie kama sei sebe owuo ede ne kwa na atonu ne enisuo esanse wana so da ye da se na damfo ebe free ne nsa ebra etise ye enti ene omano yakọ baby a wo bia ne sebe onaye na onhyeden na ama uko social media no so amanfo bebre a wo mu eni Nelson Mandela Jr. no abusia wo mu super ye pa mu chese abanti na nkahwenye no prekope ebeti an se we free at asefo asase so ebi chese what actually could be the cause of his death, because assistance now no very sad, like a young guy like this or try say obe building something serious for himself. Ebetimi atwa nananom ewonsie. But the question people are asking, Nana de Onimobia, is he related to Nelson Mandela? Na say it's just a name.
All right, so contrary to what you may think, I don't know him.
Okay.
Mention his skits that I've never even heard of him.
Wampa.
Of course. And I'm not a fan of once I see not skits because of tardy.
Yeah. Too much
now when your friend is saying
akwana no hunya friend.
Oh, don't say that.
There be mingbo be edin
you. All I'm trying to say here is that I'm not a fan of those things, but then there's a young guy per videos share, you know, he was very passionate about what he was doing, and I said what he does.
Atemuda na o kanu.
Ose
Atemuda ho asem na o kan yan.
Probably, but now almost skit near friend no. It didn't be a different
Janka Town.
Good. So as I said, so I honestly don't watch those things, but they're very fun and people like it a lot. So there's a young guy on the screens, of course, Fresh Boy, the ladies man. Unfortunately, I don't know what is really happening, but it reminds me of how last year we lost a lot of TikTokers. In fact, see, I put the Obeda story and Opibiana yen. When you notification, he said TikToker. They're so sad. It's, you know, this is a very sad thing. ACR or shared last year, we lost a lot of people. I'm talking about a year. People like Adrian Kessier,
Segua,
a lot. So I say even now or can say
Osanju put it to say Nebusiana sound.
Ne mama call or
papa and
what I say so sad. So life will definitely come for all of us. What we can say now is the one of the things personally I would like to actually be happy say Ghana for mutadi betuja say obi wa homa yehu the cause. What I say we don't know what killed him. Why what really killed them. But usually in a basana yetimisha yehu. Is it stress? Is it yehu ema yehu bia na ejuma media ejuma you know enough rest and I'll be so we'll be very much happy to know, because this is a very young guy. What killed him? What happened? These are very big questions, and ultimately, you know, was saying, but what we can say is in a couple of funny cry, the AC, it's a very sad thing. But
yeah. I was here, Nelson Mandela Jr., Arehosema Atuno, Enuno. You go back to the New Patriotic Party, Amanyukuno Kachide, and I say, I say, the repeat of Nietsi allegedly say a two John Kumano, a B sensi beam, then I make a wasem. John Kuma, we are there back what yet ye pass ku John Kuma, poison. I'm out for Bebre as a former chairman of the NPP Amanyuku, Yera Stephen Intim, or him fa. Because the last time I yet Stephen Intim enka bra na party no emumpeni for Ekun Shimua Leza Hotel. And as Stephen Intim ebushi and for the krataba yese, and ya de ombe penny ama Stephen Intim akosa meeting bisa send home fano. If you want your better to say yes, you are resigning as the chairman of the party, yentinin kabiem yenimbe biowo. And then shocking revelation at Airban Chester Stephen Intim, NPP Amanyuku Munkrofobi, Sebe, or more poison. And at this point, in the said the former president, John Ajekum Kufo, anyway, same way, and hubi. Ama Semino, say, Ayuhu. And to say, NPP, are they going to be a party of poisoning people or what? Because allegedly in some year gadano HSA at Papay, I can't be a few days. So that has been alleged. Sans a poisoner, Eddie, I can't read you muno. Nyandia sebe, ye bet me actually, it will crude you muha. And it is very sad. It was in question video way. Emma.
Silly names in my name. Tim, what's his name? Give me his name. Namen to us, me, but some boni in the cast. Namu, the reason why I was resigning. And yaba pako phone him sa way. Inti. Ya pako phone him sa way inti me ka. We do him say anything can make by meka. It's Stephen Intim. Thank you very much. Who is this? Asari Oliver. Now, my mention Stephen Intim. The reason why Stephen Intim issue no enkoye. Do you know say? Mena woka Sunday. J.A. Kufo yaba pako phone kwana stopping the family of Stephen Intim from coming out. Do you know why? The NPP as a political party, they poisoned Stephen Intim. Tie. Yababa Kufo is the only person intervening. The family of Stephen Intim, they want to come out publicly and have a press conference and let the world know, say, Stephen Intim was poisoned at one of the events our MPP organized here. J.A. Kufo is the one standing between this action by the family and the ACO. Now, say enye J.A. Kufo and Stephen Intim family about out at a press conference. I'm a Ghana phone who say Stephen Intim was poisoned. That is the reason why Stephen Intim resigning as the head of the NPP, as the national chairman. The party wrote that long statement. They were sending a message to the party, say, you people, you have poisoned our son. You have poisoned your this year. So I'll go back now, kind letter now, family release here now. They were saying something to the party. J.A. Kufo and I stop it, Stephen Intim family from coming out. And say me boy, moi Muslim interview president no chama ko busa Kufo. Me papa ka we kamenka. I know say you know I know, but I have to say it because o party no omudi nkwasi asem dodo. The NPP poisoned Stephen Intim. It is papa na months and obewu. And the family near investigations, no, Omuko say one of their events, no, and Omudi Eddie in Dro Egu Ninsum Ninsuman. So they know, and Kufo is the only person protecting that issue. Sema manem babontene. Modi amopa ochinamon first Stephen Intim ebusuan for na mbusa say asem we no kra na senya no kra. Mo amwa santimem radio for MPP radio so mo from. Monfre Stephen Intim ebusuan panyini. Monfre eye J.A. Kufo office. Na monka se Kevin Taylor wabodam wakasa asem we no kra na senya no kra. Na memma mo information foforo. The NPP after they poisoned eye John Kumano, they poisoned Stephen Intim. You know the reason why they poisoned him? My man can't show. Mumunim nyoma ni mo MPP mu. Kwasiafo. Stephen Intim said say ompene emomu impose Baomia ewo mo so. And that Baomia going to 2024 elections, they were not going to win. And that he wanted the elections to be free and fair. So when Stephen Intim announced that, apart from him being part of the elephant group, no, he's one reasonable gentleman. So who's studying the political life now? It has all been about Onyame de denenam edna bedu bebi odu. Into the countless times or call for contest when we know you never heard him sit on radio do this dirty politics of going back and forth with people. He never did that. Because I don't know believers say and still believers say so Onyame frewa so he always believed to say at the right time so we did 90 years cry Onyankopon be the chairman. So let's study Stephen Ntima. Now the principles in here, yamfa a quine passo enya bibia near for party in or your OG MPP member. Now, tell me Stephen Ntim, Obabako 2024 elections, no, and Obaba and Tembeka more meeting will say, you know something, we cannot force Baumia on the people. We cannot sit here and make it look like everything is rosary. We should make the election free and fair. That is when Omka says Stephen Ntim Alan Cash Nipa. That is when they poisoned him. So that is when they poisoned him. So what is behind Stephen Ntim poisoning? Mamem found go back. Nyamebua person catch me see me person mu primaries no. Na mu primaries na machira ma de bi organa. He. Letter na the bush of release any. Now, mamem one part of the letter. They have poisoned Stephen Ntim. Stephen Ntim Bush for releasing letter no. In fact, let me minimize it and read the caption that was shown. Mokai, Ntim family letter nini. Mokai sa letter we. Ha. Data omotre na 16th of June 2025. And releasing sa letter we. Yeah. Now, Shade, mami ready baby I am marking ready. Thank you very much team for bringing this in. Say asamna ebusuafo no tro omo letter nim. These are fucking dangerous people. Now, see, although not official, it is well known that Mr. Ntim is not well at the moment and his condition requires time off from active professional activities in the interest of medical attention and monitoring for the time being. Almost say, Munyina munim. Asame busuafo no tro omo letter no say, minim se munyina munim say, aya Stephen Ntim the home fan no. The party knew from the past that says Stephen Ntim poison no. And I can say, Cecia no munyina munim no. Jare na abeton so ye nyina nim say be hia say be ne nkakra. Na ya so ne yare na no because munyina munim de all come ebusuafo ne letter nie. We 2025 may they all come back. Na ma sure why the MPP is a foolish political party. They have poisoned the Stephen Ntim. J.A. Kufo stop a family no from coming out.
Abusia, that is the shocking revelation. Meka say Kevin Taylor. Ediababetu Mountain. So this is the year video na me kano. Stephen Ntim yetin kano. It was then somewhere in 2025. And no, and krata na Kevin Taylor the betu janu trim. Sada no muko meeting. Ewa Lesa Hotel. Na nke wo se oko make appearance but now we share bi no mokra che say adwimuka like his brains are malfunctioning and all that but and then no the etete say it was a poisoning allegedly no your poison say the poison John Kuma pepepe and the more reason in tia your poison no the fact say he opposed say party mpanimfo binom ede Baumia ebeshe omukon as a party. Not just said the nanaka no in one of the conversations. They say party no akwaye say wow besoretia Baumia biano. There is an arrow coming at you because ye share yera professor from Pomboatin dia yasakin yasakin you say yes spelling you and ye chem say Stephen Ntim dey not just say onunso akoye a man of his words, a man of dignity any ade into the moment oye na dwen say ompene so emma sebe monye ade a edo how beba party ni mu ade a enye free enye fair no. Now say in one of the meetings no according to Kevin Taylor revelations no ye de bibi egu ni nso mu ma no na che say ye starting no ewo ho and for some time now you know that the former chairman 17 has gone MIA missing in action. Hunting count baby on nam any idea. It is very, very sad. We are just hoping, say, one so infiat as fast as see so to say the John Kuma if as fast as so allegedly was linked to poisoning Sano and sa poisoning crown. Chiremwa not to say Chema also had a fair share of this poisoner, which is very sad. I quite say party no be a poison, and you can't debunk the fact because even Honorable Kennedy Japan once or twice, I hate you on the fact that he's been too careful because of all this poisoning near the idea. Koso party him until when would MPP stop all these and near Mayor Emfa Kwemu and a poison way because the person is against Baumia, the person is not in support of Baumia and all that. Is Baumia now the new god in MPP? Baumia muyeti mwa wanokran or NDC person turned NPP into a NDC turned MPP no, and I feel there you people want to finish your people in the party because of one man because of one man there. Now it is a very sad one. We are just praying and hoping for the speedy recovery of the former chairman of the MPP Amanyukun, and it is very, very unfortunate say the former president John Ajekun Kufuor and say nenimu ferry ntino de na yetiemu one person busuafo no ebetene asem no e social media so, but this is a very sad one. Ye bompa say it should never be true and answer sebe no krempo you are Steven in team on to me seeing that demo because he doesn't deserve all this or femu as a person because ye chilima wakwako kasa amanetia Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Baumia. This is very bad. MPP for it was almost wising up. Now omujai all these attacks on their personas and individuals all because of party on person within nipa bako is so any ade and it's quite unfortunate at this point.
All right, Ashofoye Twaswa, the issue about Ken Oforiatta, Menoka say it is an issue. It is really hurting the new patriotic party in all fronts. Sabra Menoka say bombshell revelation about I party say within the NPP party or more parties say Akufo-Addo has to step in because why nema Ken Oforiatta ye man position no nipa enam no so e ma ye finance minister Akufo-Addo and it's me no kasi sisi anom impenifo bi omo party ni one person I fan Eugene Boache into our former MPP MP or the ababe to say the Ken Oforiatta news about Ken Oforiatta is making the new patriotic party unpopular. Or the MPP is suffering from a popularity crisis because recent survey fee global info analytics or HRS said the party is not attractive to people anymore, especially to the youth. In terms of Ken Oforiatta and it is even making it more unpopular. In to be in the party's best interest to make sure Ken Oforiatta is extradited to Ghana. Now ultimately, so be claim no be face charges, own face charges. Now at the end of the day, no party remember I said this is not the first time Obibeka allows you give you an update. Okay, see if FIFA ever out Ebeka said the MPP for it's not what I check in Frata a good party name any mass. But ain't Honorable Eugene Boache entry in summer or the two.
Now, what party or headquarters? Now, some man to Minka. Now, me MP, me so if you partner Meka, now me carry you up, I just want to criticize me. Now, some men I'm saying, can't Ghana ha, can be said, my boom, I said, been our side taking of Frata issue. What do you say? And we all know what will be that. Say party of Ben, the finance minister, for 1 year since February, he said, I'm working for that bank now only damage to the party. Only damage to the party.
It's causing the damage to the
now, as a matter of only a second of 14 say air comfort.
Oh, I see.
Now, now the two provincial.
Provincial.
Two coin last week, me too, no, so me too coin. We do a Kotokani has my passport, say, we cry a
show your mount.
I'm not taking a habit of being fear, I bring you back to my mother.
Airport night.
It's how we're in a course. I didn't know the second of 14.
Tell me from your comfort.
I may say, dear, on the second of 14. So meteo medi post makodi minister my bibi ni tiamra na hu hiamia who you back myself ba na be twan akọ be dem you kwan say machew na ma shekatu ni nyina anya ni gwase na egu ni edi kako for gungrofo sa there chibi ubanu na no be hu say papa kro ha no
the rank of goodness
the rank of no na your party na we hawa dey na be hawo ni party no mo ye adwuma no Ghana pole no mo ye adwuma ye before ho awo Ghana pole stu obama ye o mo ye before ntu ye no we nyina no bi to no hu no oka me fi so no say party no because wo the officer won ka no ye tell chief justice sorry call former chief justice sorry call finance committee finance ministry e go picket ye think Ghana before no more
pension for no
me nyina kan on lose election no wow chief justice I appointed no sorry ko gina finance ministry say president be kan TV so say there will be no haircuts or carry here no nansa Quincy haircuts aba ni yan kan ko photo beti ai e ju be kan so bi ka bibi na wo ti ase na fi say nipa de palace ko abo inse no nya I want na wo e bi amoli re ko yin inse no want na da bibi am na ke na want na da
obviously Mr. say you're happy about Ken Ofori-Atta say o ma cheno
how can I be happy about him but I believe say eduma na ye no go and read the constitution of Ghana all the taxes we collect, that's why it goes into a consolidated fund. So we are mere custodians of those taxes. And yes, Sika, it is all by the post of Ghana. Now, when I buy fees, why we what first can be the so far? Why you run away? Come and explain yourself.
Okay. It is the same way and honorable or the two job. But far from that to amount of Bria started Casa within the New Patriotic Party, Osha and Sema, MPP former communications director, Richard Ahiagba, the Ababel to your party say, Pensemna air cost, and even though a fraction of the New Patriotic Party members or who believe he said, dear Ken Ofori-Atta and some cost about him is denting the party's image. According to Onono, Richard Ahiagba, believe he said, if it were if Onono you can or you Ken Ofori-Atta and could be taking extreme measures not to come to Ghana at all. And this coming from an MPP party communicator, it just tells you say perhaps Ken Ofori-Atta he doesn't want to face accountability, and as his position is the position of the party. But I mean, say Frank Davis, who happens to be a communicator of Ken Ofori-Atta or the Nsimbi Ababe Tuja or party say sisi anu de mo ana mo dream say ICE eba be deported Ken Ofori-Atta no and yes sir because ICE US Mbra has stopped ICE which stands for Immigration Customs Enforcement from deporting Ken Ofori-Atta into some of the
member of the legal team for Mr. Ofori-Atta, lawyer Frank Davis is joining us via phone. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on Good Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Great. So it's been quite an eventful weekend right into this. How's the team faring and Mr. Ofori-Atta?
Good afternoon once again to your cherished listeners, esteemed viewers as always. Ken, as I always say, is being kept by the Almighty good Lord God, who keeps all of us, including yourself and I. The team is doing well. There's nothing which is ruffling the team. It's a day at a time, and we take every step as and when occasions.
So the information about his detention at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE in the U.S. came out, and a lot of conversations came out, around it, and then the embassy, Ghana's embassy in the U.S. released a statement. You've seen the statement. What was your first reaction to that?
I have indeed seen the statement, and I asked myself, what was the point and need for it? What was the point? At what stage in time did the Ghana embassy in the United States realize or get to know that Ken was in ICE detention? I mean, and even if Ken is in ICE detention, are they the ones to assist him? But Ken has lawyers. He has representation by lawyers. So, I mean, whatever it is, his lawyers will deal with the matter. And rightfully so, he told the Ghana embassy if they have any dealing at all in the matter, they should deal with his lawyers. I mean, where he is, I mean, what are they going to do with him? He's in ICE custody, and they know the machinations which have gone on for him to be there. So what is it? He has good enough representation by lawyers that you are Attorney General. The Attorney General of the Republic has himself classified as a highly experienced and crack legal team. So they should leave the lawyers to do their work.
Right, but Lawyer Davis, you would agree that the embassy is supposed to look out for nationals in another country. So in this case, we are talking about the U.S. So anybody that's got any issue with the law in the U.S., the embassy is supposed to help with that. For the past few days, we've seen that that is Ghana's ambassador to the U.S. went to the detention center earlier, met some people who were at the center. So it is just their role to play in that. Don't you agree?
Have I said otherwise? They extended due courtesies to Kanoforiata. I am not in any way agreeing with that. I'm saying that when they got to him, he said if they have any dealings with him, they should contact his lawyers because the matter was in court. I mean, court processes had been activated. I mean, what is so wrong about that? I have not said otherwise than what you say. The courtesies were extended, and he gave a curt answer that if you want to engage me, please engage my lawyers because I have lawyers who are dealing with the matter. I mean, is it not a fair response?
Right. So what has the outcome been so far in the past few days as the lawyers have been working on this particular situation?
The matter is billed for a court session on the 20th of January. And let me put it all out there. And people who are muddying the waters and saying all kinds of things when they have little or no knowledge at all should wait and be educated. There are proceedings in court ostensibly for a deportation order on the back of the fact that ICE are suggesting that Kenneth Nanaya Kuntunkunuko is an illegal immigrant. But he is not an illegal immigrant because Ken has put in a petition through his lawyers for an adjustment of his immigration status. At the time that the ICE picked him, they had no knowledge of that petition. And even if they had any knowledge, I must say it was limited. So they were treating him as an illegal immigrant. But he had filed a petition for an extension.
Actually, in some way about Kenneth Furiata, and I know can say this an air trend here. Everyone is actually talking about it. I know can say their questions are a bit more bizarre. In some way, air question, what is the whole definition? What is the head and tail about all of these things? These are major questions. A man for be bread a bisa because it seems like in Furata in Yamana question he himself he does not really want to come to this particular country, and it's a very sad thing. But ultimately, we in our air course. So once again, we are live. It for celebrity made a comment about comment session or now at the end of the day, we know exactly what you think about a issue. So yeah, can one what do you think about it? And as your comments, we'll be very much glad to read it for you right here in the comment section. So that is exactly what is really going on in regards with Ken Furiata and then the Hunsensema air course right here on this particular platform. Now, it's therefore in some we'll be moving on to a very other issues issues it is a trendy for the time being. Just be ahead and air kahun asem. Enche bia ena Charles Kujofusu aka Daddy Lumba ye ne el kromase. But one of the things we saw was that a year that Lumba as a Ghana for a penny chi kama no ne yere kesi and as the first wife Madame Akusua Sewa and Akusua Sewa one baby. And it raised a lot of questions because ye na nkasa ni who said that Lumba onemba mienu ene wo ye bako akosua se wana ba akoso odobroni but me no ka say odobroni aba Ghana but one of the things you are noticing ebra odoboni aba Ghana no part say uhwe ne kasemu ene spokesperson Papa Shi ene ti say omo yeto omo chiche scanning bags na kame akoye say they are gearing up to do another funeral Bruni Beka say a funeral 2.0 now me no ka say some lawyers and also some political pundits edin say bia ba be to say dear mami akosua ye no ehun hia because see eyinia ye wie any issue please go and solve the issue in court and even far from that to sebio eye na wamba na watena ha ye nhwe hansa sisi anozo kwa ye fufuro no which authority do you have? Me no can say amount will be start take us. But before then, no, Papa Shi, a bra na omo koto no, and all the two just say a year the second one, a beba. Yen should video a babaka in summer a bimo any one more in power. Akasa, sisi and petition could be Mahama. The nimina no, yedina a baby to
Match.
Okay. Into teen sema Papa Shi na oka before video na ko nim kakra no pa say ye ni de 2.0 ebeba so pa and this has definitely caused a lot of people to question say authority ben na akosua sewa any Papa Shi ewa omkwa ko ye no ebi remember say Papa Shi when he's been accused say ebra ne ono akasa ne mama iwu ye no akasa say ya na ete say odeba one ene nebusuafo ntema ewie na ete say eye na ebusuafo ne ye no ono nkwa akoye nehi e kame akoye says the same playbook and Papa Shi eba be use but me no can say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ekua akosua sewa ate team legal wives no they are saying that they'll be petitioning His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to step into the case and grant them wish beyond law any Supreme Court sinabeya akosua sewa two things. Number one, and also number two, she can see the justice or get the justice she deserves. Yeah, babaka, call should be do babaka. Sinamidika editu jano. Amanphobia omo a year in government or mababe kasa saying say display I am mami display on an amprempe no chenye mania diadeno. It doesn't make sense. Now, even though law be prohibiting no, the head and tail of her actions is that her actions doesn't measure up to anything. In same way, babaka petition to Mahama in babaka in sama abaimu for omode ababa.
Excellency John Dramani Mahama we are pleading to him. Say Niake bia ye sign koso akotono. Ye besre no so bema no kre adedi. Ye besre nsa na mo ye tu ko ye nim no obete ye ne na watie na isa nsa mama akosia se wa asemi. Enya mama akosia se wa nkwa na wo ka ma na nase oboa no. Eye president bia ebeda ho a emwa Ghana warefo, emwa Ghana mabu, emwa Ghana emayua in any way. It's a wrong president ye set at all. Say ne ma ba wa esiso a ombetimi akwakotari obi kunu ho ana na okwo a na chese wa ye yire ana. Debi Ghana has a more animonyam sensa into yes Mr. President, yes Ghana Peace Council, yes the wives of all pastors, yes women in parliament, yes the minister, the gender minister, and I think so nipa yes buko to be bebe the vice president for the first time in Ghana history no Obana vice president we are pleading on that and we are calling on their office say sorry, no mwasa kunya ye queen. Nesan say ma mini here say me sesa kosia say wafosu we hear justice.
So that is the argument Omu making say President John Dramani Mahama said you ultimate and the fact say our vice president Obano, according to them, this is a national issue, national concern. Why? Because if you don't talk about it, it's going to set a precedent in a way. Say obi bitima kwatali obi kunu na say bi ni kunu wa nipa na ba beji etapade ni nyina. But me no ka say if you must start take kasa say na no die hu ye no eyen kwase asem. Na nipa odi sansem ya ba betudwa say that room be woo before a year no crash and mama yeah said you mama ye na nya corner. You guys made the funeral all about yourself. Na mu ye no kwenfu ene papa ne wuni na hye fema hwe niam bia eye akosia se wa back room all year in the name of Team Legal Wives. Regardless ni Paul den sansem we ba betuja PV Janto Adasen opa is akosia se wa ni Team Legal Wives no is just foolish.
We are very ignorant. So a legal wife now sleepy on duty obey that one time did you if you are a legal wife it comes with what? A responsibility. What kind of behavior? I didn't remember. Court to be anyone or over 10 your friends.
Yes,
decision.
And it's not possible.
So privilege now one enjoyer. The court will not restore that privilege for you. We are like our Fukuni will be Winsiano. Now way. Who am not a man of wafa. Now way. It is a what you feel. No idea will be Timu. 30 years no show. You were torn over. And Raymond who continue Fuku. And to Domia, you see, only a very ignorant woman in Domia. They don't know what they're doing. They don't. From the right Takusa say, well, Orobo with the same right.
Yes.
So many men catch them. It will not change anything. Omo for Mkoya Yeni 6 March, Ghana Independence Day. It will not change anything. Woman, they should learn. So remember, they should be submissive and play their role as wives.
And stay with them.
No munya dem de Johanna we buy a fair come it is anything no.
Obisi man call no crowd do na be call mu cry because be ma be no be one year responsible be allow na be and the wife so on konko gina camera ni mu na nya yi say am fa bia na hwe am for asem na
anyway I do the because I'm surprised Ghana, you know, we make people using that word popular out of and your man who said that because I was wondering the airport now say no or yeah there is a fight for the right
come see the crowd now from grand there yes am get
they say we fight for there
mama say we try
ababa yi
in some way and a year akosia se wa amanfo bibre e ka fa no say it's just nonsense say at the end of the day no be hijack airport na all but say at the point in time crowd who say you or you celebrate to say din you even have no idea who the ekoso it is amanfo akobodom pem e wo ho in the name of Team Legal Wives or more party say it doesn't make sense. So that is the view we are also learning and then no akosia se wa ku pim e wo court. It say we are learning says she's going for appeal, which is our one home party say any assembly. So regardless, no, it is Ghana for you. And then we are all watching this case here. Should you be see now at the end of the day, no, say it be the law will be on a path, and I be sana. I think that ultimately, you know, you better share the course. So you need the same nature. We're giving you more updates as all of this whole events continue to unfold. Once again, we are live until me I drop your comment our comment section what you think about all of these issues and in summer course in regards to the issue about Kusia Sewa and Odobrunia Minokasi appeal Asambim. Menoka say the Ghana police is actually doing well, and we are learning that the Ghana police have arrested 7 suspected human traffickers and rescue 48 victims in whole Volta region. Until for your case will be a human trafficker, and it is any panel sebu or finipa ekoton dead or alive. Intinos will be trafficking nipa, and as this will be a human trafficker. So we are very careful because unya or beton, so what tias you say we will or beton because tias or ton or beniska ransom. Obi kidnap waton anasa wote ase obi tima ton amobi agimu sika na mpo wubu a obi timi etwitwa wonam ama waton o parts no se wakwa wonan wuti weni obema we oba so waya ase juma omudi no na sa human traffickers see no wo ma ya omota use omo and our victims omo transport omo ton omo pa titiri mba and in Bofra, in Bemaka, but Titupa and Ban in Bofra. And yeah, that's why the Ghana Police Service has brought out a pretty lengthy statement to tell us that they have arrested over 7 suspected human traffickers. Menoka say a party say a chiomono, yitimi a rescue in Crawford 48 our victims. In some way, in our echo, so El Vota region. Now we have some pretty pictures, about 2 screens, no so. But first of all, no, yen share the year a screens, no so. Osha, or see police arrest suspects. Police arrest suspects and rescue 48 victims in whole. The Ghana Police has arrested 7 suspected members of a human trafficking syndicate and rescued 48 victims during the 2 surveillance. During the 2 separate intelligence-led operations in whole in the Volta region. Therefore, all the picture and the screens no so. After 4 pictures in the screen, so it tells you exactly how shocking it is. In Kofowe, omo and omo victims are omo sankofu ya suspect omo tonipa. It is a watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In Kofo 6 and a picture on the far left of the screens and 1 on the far right of the screens. So one no, as you can see here, come na buma 7. Inti minoka say bako it is omo trying picture friend Ebenezer. Kwabena Owusu, no 24-year-old. Uncle Pejuma was started Tonipa at this particular young age. And you're so sad what is really happening. Now, young the second person so much second person Emmanuel Isiama only 30 years. 30 years and a Tonipa and I share the screen so poor Mensa on 26 years. 26 years. I just say Menoka saying we so I just share on the other side of the screen on the Prince Kweku or in the late 20s. So these are the people Menoka say the Ghana police have arrested them, saying these people are involved in human trafficking. Now, far from that too, the police actually brought down a breakdown of what and how they arrested these people and how, according to them, no, Sankofo, very notorious people. I just say, you have to run for your life. It is a very, 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 very sad thing. Now, you should the whole screen, so I say, because more airbound. Tusha has here, or said the Ghana police have arrested 7 suspects and rescued 48 victims. The Ghana Police Service has arrested 7 suspected members of a human trafficking syndicate and rescued 48. Sen yedi kan edituja. No mo sanso echemu ewo sa particular omo down part of omo press release the reason and what is really going on. Or say the suspects identified as Emmanuel Isiama Frimpong. Or say the suspect identified as Emmanuel Isiama bako so ye friend no eye Frimpong Jerry. And about so your friend Paul Mensa, and about so your friend Bismarck Perry, and about so your friend Vida Gefa, and about so your friend Ebenezer Kwabena Owusu, and about so your friend Prince Kaku. These people no on part say, they can't sign Kofona, you can't mona. Edi kan edi omu picture 2 screens so omu 7 omu ene paisa omu human traffickers no. Now you bad down wa or part say these people were arrested. So say these people were arrested on the 8th and 10th of January 2026 through intelligence-led operations conducted at Fiave, Dabla, Avakple Street, Ho, CK Road, and Summit Junction. It's a party say in Ho, somewhere on the 8th and the 10th of January 2026. Any almost as a total of 48 victims were rescued during the operations. The victims made up largely of young adults and students were reportedly lured with promises of overseas travel and held under deceptive and coercive conditions. It is quite fast to the Nyansankofu we a party say, Uko social media or one say work and travel abroad, work and stay in Dubai, own apartment, your own salary, near Kekan Ketin. It is Uncle we adverts. And also be catch on say Sankofu umbe to coin and yeah, so you go and pay money to them, and at the end of the day, no, on me catch some passport near there, don't do be to coin. Now, even though they will take the passport, on me passport near there, nama no, kono mo kono, and a kono mu be to no. Omo do kwa question kwa sum and so mo ton amobi. Nani pa de on person de ya omo de aye nti no pa say Nkofu enye omo pe e dada omo ene ye de chi ye dada omo ye nya omo no e na fidi Nkofo ne ye ready say ba be ton omo akwa ma no ne so mkwa koye nkwaso edwuma so mkwa koye eye obi yere obi kunu yenim say you kako to tomu kidney near their meskin we don't know. Yeah, trust will say searches conducted at the various locations uncovered official receipts issued to victims after collecting monies under the pretext of securing visas for travel abroad, as well as assorted documents linked to other fraudulent activities. The police for storming horror investigation and reveal say in Krofo investigation was in Krofo take documents and my documents be brace. Our documents no my no a document be on my year or it be a travel document as our travel document in a fake. Into a new son the better say a travel document, but we call for verification now. We say idea a fake and I say idea at the end of the day no a idea to say a intro. They are just using it to lure you. Send at the end of the day, yeah, per se do you know, yeah, do be here. Menoka saying that is what the Ghana police is saying. Almost sounds so so. What has he said? All 7 suspects are currently in custody, assisting investigation while efforts are underway to trace parents of relatives of the rescued victims and to arrest other suspects connected to the human trafficking syndicate who are currently at large. In the abundance, and yes, Uncle Fobi Nkwa and I said you, Boni ya Omudi, ye show, and Kofobi Kaun, but a bimu in your hands, Mr. Police for the air, so they had to actually run for their lives, sir. One more makani dear, police for the Eguso the air show, in all, one may to me rescue your mono, as you can see on the screen. So, I say 48 victims. Minoka saying a sad issue. Many people are actually talking about it. So, and same be but then ultimately that is exactly what is really going on. It tells you say Ghana ha aye. So because so what if it was real? Say ABS and Kofu we no. Say you traveling na na kasi dey on be travel na yampa. Yentro obian kaso do be tukon do ko say you continue mu aloko. Ache di obi di anopa ni enumre debi or ton. Ama kidnappers and now one more kidney no liver say no makoma say no. Into a town sana ye company a cuckoo near chow kidney no akuma near their shed. Sikeni be yem and I say na koma ho be placey sikenia to say now kwa baby any one near the onono or the nation near the bit me live now would ye kum, which is a very, very sad thing. So that is the information at Eba. And I know so many people will have their own reservations about this particular issue, but then ultimately, these are very scary times, and scary things are AC in scary times are otekra sebiu ema ohunjunti. Any the indemnity will ultimately be giving you more updates as all of these various events, continue to unfold right here in this particular country. As for on the screens, a popular Ghanaian figure, a friend Ama Dope. Abadup. Now, woman, you about social media also and yasem kitwa. Now, this woman in himself now China and Oba Ghana is here and also a restaurant or also influencing job. But in restaurant or you kumasi apparently no kofo ko omba se dwane no ase omo fili dwane ne sa. Yeah, that's why woman you so gidi say amount for person omo dey dwane no business no e bra down. Adan e bi mu price ni dwane no enye de ni ade a omo kan sem bebre fa ne ho ise ni restaurant no egu enya asem ketwa. But yenko tie in some of the tuja because me and you know say setting up a business in this country is very difficult. So for someone to set up a business, put about millions of Ghana cedis into trying to create something, create employment, and all of a sudden, obeda sorry yes you nipano a drone or the 20 and a do cry de said you or him good in SMP a very, very bad. You think some of the teacher because after this updates asamba
doing everything I can for my customers to have the best. I put my numbers out there. I do everything. I hardly even see my child because of this business. So if you buy something and it doesn't go well, why don't you call me? My number is on social media. My personal number is on social media. Call me. I don't understand. It can never be right with me. I can never understand. I can never understand this. Girl, be a posted man. No, girl, but the one control was say, well, please come to my page, come and buy my, I will give you a lot. Because their food portions are very small. They don't even taste good. The partners will tell you, but they want to control comment section and say, before the panel, also to make the panel put them.
So these were some of the things that Abadope Ekai. But then after this particular thing on the two journal, Miss Amman for or Martin Sufre and Mamino say, you know, she's been overwhelmed with a year orders and also Amman for Afre say, Ediano, yen cancel and cancel it. Babaka, we have an update about Kokubon Sam and King Paluta.
And don't for is your girl Abadope. Again, my uncle for what's in your some share or do what that some million person. Me don't want us because me uncle mendo. It you mean see, she me to put my way, my miss some flights. Me look Kumasi or the episode a place and me young queen. It's my uncle for me not or be here a coin ship there. Me tax. But tax wait a minute. One attack mutton. One attack menu for another poncho. It the banner mutton the more attack. Because your minister won't my bread pan and made day. Mpon chop on me anu main na me do want us for all the support and love to put all attack and spiritual element mutu ni be nya monsa ma fat na nye yo mpon chop am me do want us be be she girl Abadope again.
So that was Abadope in Sema or the two judges that you could clearly see says you. But I told you sir we have an update about King Paluta. You be kind of cry and think King Paluta's a year career no you said then who say no see say ni career no but then you check King Paluta pa 2024 na you born in no dey aba but then be ya see do no so the for aba I did not pick it ati I say no the aba untimi nyam fu ha so nyum bebre no dey ba na say King Paluta was everywhere but come say 2025 we didn't see King Paluta in fact in 2024 cry no na abimo epa say anko no so artist of the year dey ma a King Promise but me no ka say no kwekubu sama ba be kasa say dey nti King Paluta ne career no as enko ni ma I stand still because okodi ono na downfo bi atem e wo UK say bio ni wigos and then a whole lot of things Emma a year kwekubu sama ba say ansem ni bi pie ni nim ama wa weke a year King Paluta intena King Paluta nyum bi ode be bia na enfa no pa King Paluta wa be pa chow amba ya mamra eni
so umpie biem Nancy and musician bi kobo show e wo UK e no kodi di madam for ba ku sister atem di na tem in public we are musician you adwuma what I say we all have friends in musician Shatawale where my mentor Sakwade where my mentor big mentor Samini iya my mentor Kofi Kinata Kofi Kinata me Kofi me pese me nyage bia me wo me to Kofi Kinata me yagao so much Kofi Kofi Kinata we me mentor ofre me need to be dim komo nyina na no hwesa Akwade e ku biri di hwede ko ye me sai de me kan nyina o musician no wonu ma de a me ye me fa akra na me sansu na me kasa ye me kasa wiye na me di nsuo no ene kura no ena me so wo kalia a bright wo wiase ani pa nyina hwe ene me de kura kata osunsun so na me de kura mtutufo na me de hye ho na me kasa gusu ma anya hwe ntwa dwan ma ntwa ntwa just talking and water musician no ono obehu ohun se na wiye no ba na se wan pekwan bi amfa so anko pewu ma na odidi na tem o lende na tema obesodo no ebeche nyesa ni kalia onko panicho wi ebe hu kwa ebe fa so ebe san nyesa ni kalia bedum de me makata wu so umpie biem Nancy and musician bi kobo show e wo UK e no kodi di madam for ba ku sister atem di na tem in public we are musician you adwuma what I say we all have friends in musician Shatawale where my mentor Sakwade where my mentor big mentor Samini iya my mentor Kofi Kinata. Ye Kofi Kinata. Oh, me Kofi. Me pesa minya give ya me wa me de tu Kofi Kinata. Me yagao. So much Kofi oh Kofi awo Kofi Kinata we me meant offer me need to be doing komo nyina. None of your sa ko de. You could be the de ko ye me sai. Dia me kan nyina o. Musician no. Won ma dia me ye. Me fa akora na me sansu na me kasa ye. Me kasa wiye na me di nsuo no ene kura no. Ena me so wo ka lia a bright wo wiase ani pa nyina hwe ene me de kura kata osunsun so. Na me de kura mtutufo na me de hye ho. Na me kasa gusu. Ma anya hwe ntwa dwan ma ntwa ntwa just talking and water. Musician no ono obehu ohun se na wiye no ba na se wan pekwan bi amfa so anko pewu ma na odidi na tem o lend na tem a obesodo no ebeche. Yes sir.
Okay, so that is in summer a kwekubu nsam ekan. But then in regards with her career in some way, you know, somebody to say it's because of how Sebio Kimpaluta or then home for politics home and I Sebio and Amana we say because Obeka is before a 2024 elections, one person or bar out Ebeka Saye one a Kimpaluta say onye very careful to nanamon ye Don Little. Now Don Little some more kind Parker say Kimpaluta can perform for MPP or NDC. But say who say Baumia Tobas Utimu Bino dear. There be a idea Sebio elections na nkoyia and ekoyie kra na people will blame and point fingers at you. Enti ye kwa kutie in sema enu abema Don Little edu tuja e babaka. That's all we have for you. Let us say we'll see you on the flip side again.
Kimpaluta, what is saying? I hope so. Here, Obra, me we futu kakra de ma. Me slow. Onye star no. Enye politician na ma ye star. MPP o, NDC o, ubia your fans. Uma me no papa ko a. Hwan na obetwetwa age no. Sana politician te. Omu ina ye yebusuafo ye ntam. But edwuma na wo ye no. Hu se eni kwan se o gina one side. Gina one side o, eye business ina wo ye. But Ghana for be fan say, oh, your politics, Miss Row. Minuminu, ya brepen. And your politician a boy. Tafina yame a mouse no, and my politician, and be say, a dear way, yano. Shia, Shatawali Sako, dear Stoneboy.